Oh my God, I love this song.
Beastie Boys.
The Beastie Boys. No,
That's
it's
what
not.
people call us.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Beastie.
this is Eggman because today is National Deviled Egg Day. And if you're a fan of deviled eggs like I am, well, today's your day. Mark Trowbridge here with Grant Miller. It's our weekly show here on Facebook Live. And well, of course, the energy is high even though the weather is low.
It is rock and roll. Today is a great day. It is 3 days away from what? Friday. What happens Friday?
Friday is our annual conference.
I'm excited. It's been a long time
Oh,
coming.
goodness. We started planning for this in
A year ago?
January of last year. Got really down to business in, February, March, planning for October or for August. And here we are in November. But it's really happening this Friday. We've
Okay.
got a huge lineup of great speakers.
Well,
So
what's really great today is National Ohio State Day.
no, Ohio Day.
Oh.
OHIO. What's round on the middle or round on the ends and high in the middle? Ohio.
And then what else? What other day is it?
I think
Devil
it's
egg.
National Bison Day.
And National Devil Egg Day.
Yeah, I'm all about the deviled eggs. If you don't have your family recipe out, now's the time to go looking for it because people love deviled eggs on Thanksgiving, and we're just a couple of weeks away from the Thanksgiving
Okay,
holiday.
are you going home for Thanksgiving?
Well, home is here, but you mean visit my mother?
Yeah.
No, we don't really do
Where are you having Thanksgiving?
I'll have it with my niece and nephew, just like we did last year. So we have a tradition. We get up early. We go and do the turkey trot. We're back home, around 9 o'clock in the morning.
The Gables Trot? Which?
No, the one at Tropical Park, put on by Lifetime, I think, right?
Big
and
Frank Ruiz.
Baptist. Frankie, yep. He and his
Frankie,
team
sorry.
put that on. Sorry, we're very familiar. And, and my sister-in-law's coming to visit. And so I got her signed up as well. So she's going to walk. I think there's 4 of us. Sometimes we've been as big as, 7 or 8. And, my buddy and his family are going to Ferguson. So they'll be out of town.
Okay. So this weekend was great football. What happened? Georgia and Florida game.
Florida never got off the bus.
Was that the Gator flop?
Nah, it wasn't quite as much as that. People remember that Gator flop. They're still very angry about that in Georgia.
But so Georgia looked really good, and
Yeah,
Florida looked bad.
I think they're as advertised. The problem for UF is that it's time for a coaching change.
How long has he been?
Everybody agrees with that. 4 or 5 years.
How long's his contract?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a very hefty payout. But the bigger problem is that the AD who hired him is still our AD, and they were together at Mississippi State. So, Dan Mullen is he's a great offensive coach, but he's better as an OC
They're
than
4-4,
a head coach.
right?
Yeah, man, 500.
When was the last time they were 500? 10 years ago?
No. We had a year like that, I think, under Jim McElwain. So, Gator Nation is greedy. They're used to competing for conference titles. We were in the title game last year and gave Alabama a run for their money. We've played the number 1 team twice this season. I don't know many teams that have done that.
No, not many.
We played Alabama, lost by 2, and then Georgia just swept us out of the Gator Bowl.
Well, let's hear about your weekend. I know you had a busy weekend. You ignored me, stood me up on a couple of dates.
Yeah, I have to tell you, it was like just another couple of work days. I haven't really had a day off for a while. So,
what did you do? I mean,
well, Friday I was emceeing the AIA Awards, and so
when
that's
did it end? Like at
3
3 a.m. in the morning?
No, about 11.
What time did it start?
I got there at 6:30. It's a long evening, so I think people wanted to be together and fellowship, so they were willing to stay a little bit later. But some of the best architects in town got honored. I've always admired this guy, Kobe Karp. Never met him, didn't know much about him other than I thought he was a great brand, great name, great buildings, and he was honored as the Architect of the Year. And so I got to meet him, and I think we're like best friends now. I'm really excited. And then I met his son, who does the marketing, and the wife, and the whole family.
That was Friday night, and Saturday you had to walk.
Saturday up early and hosted an architecture walking tour. And we had about 30 folks join us, and we wandered around the downtown of Coral Gables. Happened upon a new farmers market that happens to be there right by Coral Gables Elementary in North Ponds.
When's that? Saturdays or Sundays?
Saturdays from 9 to 2. There'll be another one this weekend. I'm going to with my friend Sarah Artacona.
Go Alabama. And then you went to a stage. You went to a show too that day?
Did I?
Frankenstein?
Oh, yeah. Zoetic Stage. I'm on the board of
who'd
that.
you go with?
I was there by myself.
There was not an empty seat for me to be next to you?
Well, there were 2 empty seats. There was one on each side of me. So,
Oh, I could have sat on.
what are you doing this weekend? You got any plans?
I have this. I work on weekends like you. I don't work.
know.
I don't work 8 hours each day. I work.
But
Saturday.
I spoke to you, and you were filling in for somebody and making deliveries.
Yeah, I do that. Okay, so you did that. Okay.
But wait a minute. What are you doing on Saturday?
I know. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, very handsy. What else are we talking about?
Okay, so let's talk about your workout.
Yeah, no, I worked out Saturday
13th
morning.
week.
Yeah, week 13. I worked out yesterday. I always do a cycle class on Mondays, the Edge cycle. 50 minutes on a bike. Yesterday, I had a new instructor. She was filling in, and I forgot her
Is she in
name.
good shape?
Oh, they're all in great shape. Everybody there is beautiful and in great shape.
I spoke to who was it? Denise Erickson. I saw her and she was talking about Lifetime.
Yeah.
She said everybody's there is beautiful. It's like, wow, that's not usual. That's not a usual sight.
No, I mean, I was there this morning before my session with the trainer, and I hate when he comes over and he goes, "All right, let's get started." And I'm usually on the treadmill, so I wipe it down, and then I'm like, "All right, I'm ready." And then he'll look at me and go, "I'm really going to push you today." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, we haven't worked out since Friday, and I'm going to push you." I said, "Well, I've worked out. I worked out Friday, Saturday, Monday, and here I am again." And he wasn't kidding. We did a lot of upper body. And so I did this shoulder machine I'd never even been on before. And I normally walk by it like, what is that thing? Because it looks like a scary contraption. I mean, I'm good with the leg presses, but he's got me doing bench pressing now, which I hadn't done before.
Are you doing a bar?
I'm doing a bar with weights on it. So what are the little ones?
10s, 5s, 10s,
Probably
quarters.
bigger.
Quarters, 25.
Yeah, maybe they're not that big.
Okay, it doesn't matter. You're
It's
doing
the one below the big one, the 45.
25.
Yeah, the 25. So I did 100 pounds plus whatever the bar is. In the bar count?
No, you didn't. The bar
I
is
did
45.
2 and 2.
That's 50. You did 100 pounds.
All right, that's cool.
You want to say 13 weeks?
No, there were 2 on each side.
Oh, that's two
So
big ones.
145?
Yeah, congratulations.
I have to double check that with him. Is there a size below that 25? Is there 17.5?
No. 45, 25s, 10s, 5s. Doesn't matter. The question I have for you, 13 weeks.
Yeah.
Could you stop and do something else? Or do your body's addicted to it? Are you addicted to this?
I don't know if it's addiction as much as it's just like my muscle memory. So it's like I want to stay focused. So, I started by mostly going 3 days a week, and within 2 weeks I was going 4 days, and I haven't missed a 4-day a week. And sometimes I throw in a 5th day where I do something not necessarily in the gym, either on my Peloton or I go walking or whatever. So, which is what I'll probably do tomorrow. Get home and then walk.
Friday you're not doing anything. You got a long day.
Friday I have a long day, so I'm moving my training session up to Thursday, and then I'll work out Saturday morning. Go to the farmer's market. Got a lot going on.
It's exciting. I mean, when people, whatever their exercise is, whether they're lifting weights, you're doing a lot. You're doing lifting weights, you're spinning, you're doing the Peloton, you're in it. And it's exciting. I do it. I don't have a trainer, and I eat much more than Mark. But
I don't know about that.
Mark, I told you I had 2 salads.
I like that.
2 chicken. For dinner, I had a chicken Caesar, and then I was still hungry, so I had a burger. But with the burger comes a yes. Are you my trainer? I don't know how to turn my phone off, so I know that's funny.
It makes me laugh because it rings every week when we're on the show, and you're always shocked like the ringer's on, and I'm like, you don't turn the ringer off.
Andres, come here, turn my ringer off. It doesn't turn off. Come over here.
Andres does everything here. He's
Okay.
producing the
Okay,
show. He's
But I don't
fixing your phone.
But you're doing all those things. It's
Yeah.
impressive. It's not like you're in a gym lifting. You run, you exercise. Your trainer's doing a great job.
Yeah, I think Omar has a lot of plans for me. He's got a lot of variety, but when he says that line, like, I'm really going to push you today, I'm just like, oh gosh. because I don't know what's coming. Because and where he pushed me was, I wrapped up with like 5 minutes on the rower, so no stopping, building intensity each minute, and so you end up doing, I don't know, I did about 1,100 meters, which when we started, I would do 2 minutes and I'd have to stop.
And
Now I can do 5 minutes
by the
without
way,
stopping.
it's not your waist. You can see your body is like you're standing a little taller. So congratulations.
Well,
Got a
thank
long
you.
way. We all do.
Yeah.
So, okay, should we really need? I don't know if we should talk about. We'll talk about the Gators getting whooped, but how sad is the Dolphins?
Well, I just wonder what's going on over there. I mean, I think they're 1-7,
Yep.
and they've traveled a long way to lose a lot of those games. And the Bills are a rival. I don't think we've beaten the Bills in maybe 3 or 4 years. That's an unusual winning streak for the Bills. I get it if it was the Patriots, even the Jets to some degree, but it's pretty rough when the hapless Bills kind of own you.
How about Brady at the end of the game? I lost the game. He took the loss. I lost it.
Yeah, he threw 3 picks in that game.
Yeah, but their rush, the Saints were just eating him up alive.
And they were playing with a backup, if you will, because the quarterback went down, and
Cam Newton, right?
Jameis.
Sorry, wrong quarterback. Jameis Winston.
Yeah, Jameis Winston. One of my least favorite Florida State alumni quarterbacks, but that isn't saying much because I don't like really any of them. So,
all right. So coming up after Thanksgiving, is it after small
we got Small Business Saturday, and we're putting together that program right now. And the Small Business Saturday has been around for about 11, 12 years now. And
Are you
last
year, are you
year,
going to write a column because you haven't done it in 2 years
a column
about small business?
Well, they really didn't do it last year. We did something,
Right.
but for the most part, the national program was on pause. This year, it is as well. They've decided not to do the program, but we're going to do something. We'll probably announce next week where we're kicking off at, but we're going to synergize it with our walking tour that month for November. So we're going to repeat the walking tour that we did this Saturday. We'll have tweaked it a little bit, so folks can come to the kickoff, and then from there we're going to leave and go on our walking tour at 10:30 and take it from there.
So Saturday, Coral Gables was rocking.
Yeah.
They had the Mexican consulate put on. What they put?
Dias
What's it
de
called?
los Muertos and Jonathan Chait,
What a
who is the consul general. Yeah, they had quite a turnout. I saw a lot of the photos today, and he was in full costume.
Oh man! But it was what park is that? It was a little park,
Pittman Park.
And the music was going, people were dancing, laughing. Then you had trick or treaters on Miracle Mile, right?
We did, and that's something that the bid has done for a number of years with the merchants, and
that's a great event.
It's fantastic.
It brought people into the Gables.
Couldn't do it last year, so I can tell you this just from the trick or treat, the trick or treaters that showed up at my buddy's house, and the amount of candy we gave out. Halloween was back with a vengeance in full force, and I didn't know what to expect. It was a beautiful day, but it is still a school night, so you never really know what it's going to be like because kids were back in school Monday. Right. So
okay, so
it was rocking.
The house behind us, catty corner, LaRue's, Larue, on Halloween.
Yeah,
one of their sons who probably was like 5 or 6 years older than I, maybe 10. He would chain himself up to the door, and you could sneak right by him. He'd dress up as a crazy person, had chains on him, and he would try to grab you, but he couldn't reach you if you leaned against the wall to get the candy. How about that? I remember that 50 years ago.
I love it.
Did you have any people's houses that you were scared to go to?
As I got older, and we trick-or-treated through when I was 21. A senior in high school at 17. And we would go to the houses with the lights off. Like we thought we were really too cool for school. And then you'd go up there. I'll never forget my best friend, Melissa, had an exchange student from Norway, a woman named Inger. And Inger didn't know anything about Halloween. And so, she was super excited to get dressed up. So we decided, a group of us, that we would all go as prostitutes. So I was the madam, and then all my gal pals were hookers. And so, a lot of makeup, a lot of push-up bras, a lot of,
You had a push-up bra?
No, because I was the madam, so
Oh,
I was wearing a lovely pencil skirt that didn't quite fit.
he must have
I'm
looked
sure we
lovely.
have a photo somewhere, but I changed my name. So my nickname in high school was the Bridge. So people call me Tro now, but back then I was the Bridge.
Like
So
the Eiffel Tower.
no, people would sing like a bridge
Over
over troubled
troubled
water.
waters.
Thank you, Andres. So my name as the madam was Bridget, and I had all my gals. So we
Hey,
went to this
how
house.
apropos.
We went to this house that was on a dead end. The lights were out. We knock on the door, and this guy answers, and he was shocked. I think one that trick or treaters had shown up because he didn't have his porch light on, and secondly, I think he was shocked because we were dressed in various states as prostitutes. So he goes, "Hold on a second." So I hear him talking to somebody, and he comes back and he goes, "Give us just a minute. We've got something for you kids." So he comes back and he has set up on a tray like 7 shot glasses.
No way.
Now we are probably 15, 16, and 17 years of age. My friend Melissa was the oldest, and she hadn't turned 18 yet.
Was
And
it drinking age 18 or
it
19?
was 21. It was probably 18. It was close. It was probably 18. I don't think it had gone to 21 yet. And so my friend's sister, who was probably the youngest, maybe she was 14, she elbows her way to the front and she goes, "Me first." It was very funny. We kind of left. We were known for going out and rolling people's houses.
Did you know that person? The person?
No, because we were in my friend Melissa's neighborhood.
All right. So it seems like live events are rocking and rolling now that CDC's changed some rules. What last Thursday or Friday? When did I see that plastic surgeon place?
That was Gentera. That was on Thursday.
8,500 square feet. Unbelievable, beautiful. Are they a member?
They're trustees.
They're trustees. So one of the owners is taking me around. He says, "Grant, I can fix your ball spot. I can fix your neck. I can fix your stomach."
What's wrong with your neck?
He says, "I got a turkey neck."
Was this Brian?
No, Jacob, the other partner. I'm friends with Jacob,
Okay.
and he's giving me a hard time everywhere. He says, "This room, you can lay down, take the ball spot. You know, we could give you a little tuck here."
I didn't know they did hair transplants.
I don't know if he does, but they do everything there.
I was there today getting a shot, and the room I was in, they had just unpacked a hyperbaric chamber. And Vivian, who takes good care of me there at Gentera, at 550 Biltmore Way, she's like, "Do you want to try this out? You want to lay down in it?" And I'm like, "No, I'm already in a suit."
George Gonzalez, thank you very much. All
Hi,
right.
George. We've missed you the last couple weeks.
I've been following him on Facebook. He goes everywhere. I don't know what you do for a living, George, but you do a hell of a job. We go to a lot of restaurants. All right, so let's talk about events coming up. You got goals on Friday. You got Monday. You have the Gem of event. What else?
So let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've got Wine Down Wednesday tomorrow.
WIND or WNE?
WIND.
Morgan.
Tomorrow at 5 at Bay 13. We've got the Reconnect lunch. That's virtual. And I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. It's at Morton's. We're back in person. We started last month. So that'll be at Morton's tomorrow at noon.
Two events
tomorrow. And then Friday is the annual conference starting at 7:30. And we have a great lineup of speakers. I know we'll talk about that in a minute, but we confirmed our final speaker yesterday.
Who was it?
David Whitaker, the new CEO of the
Congratulations.
Yeah, so today I've been working on reviewing some program booklets that Morgan's working on, scripts that Erica's working on, and then I wrote all the questions for my 2 interviews to be submitted to David Whitaker and to Daniela Levine Cava's team. So we're
wait. You got the GM coming from the Marlins.
Yeah, we have.
And you got Cava coming.
Yeah. So we kick off in the morning with Formula One. So you'll hear all about the new Formula One.
Who's speaking in Formula?
So it was Richard Cregan, but he's had a family emergency, so it's one of his team members. But they'll be giving his presentation. I think his name is Josh Young. Then you'll hear from Luis Colado, who works with Baptist Health South Florida, is their vice president for health and safety. Then you hear from Mayor Levine Cava.
That's in the morning.
That's all before 9 o'clock. And then you'll hear from Ron McGill from Zoo Miami.
Former basketball player at Palmetto High School, graduated in 1977. on his team, Larry Crawford, in the Hall of Fame in Canada football. Then his good friend
like Canadian football.
Canadian football.
Okay.
And his other shooting guard was Tom Foley, played in Major League Baseball 40 years, drafted by the Reds, played for the Expos,
Okay.
Tampa Bay. You want me to keep going? Al Dotson, one of the top attorneys in the country.
Al's amazing.
So that was Ron McGill's basketball team.
Not too shabby. They're all still really tall.
Yeah, well,
I feel like both Ron and Al could suit right up and go out and play.
They still are in good shape. I know Al.
I just saw Al the other night. He looks amazing. And I saw Ron at your event last Tuesday. Amazing.
It's not my event. It's our event. It's a community event.
I got you. So Dr. Kareem Ailish is from Florida Polytechnic talking about ransomware and cybersecurity. Then you've got Johnny C. Taylor, the head of SHRM, Les Standiford, an author, Kim Eng, Adrian McCullers from Rogers Behavioral Health, and of course, I just mentioned David Whitaker, GM CVB. So 10 different speakers during the day, all kinds of very relevant topics. So if you want to hear what's going on with Formula One, we've got it. You want to hear from our county mayor, we've got her. You want to hear the future of convention and sales and visitors to our community, we've got the leader of the CVB who just started like probably 9 weeks ago. And then, topics everywhere in between. You want to hear about Ron McGill's new venture in conservation, we've got it. Going back to work and that impact of resetting the workplace. How about the head of the Society of HR Managers out of DC, Johnny C. Taylor Jr.? We've got him. So, when you look at the lineup,
it's powerful.
From August, almost 90% is still intact. And then the three we added are heavy hitters. Whitaker, Daniela Levine Cava, and then we added Formula One.
Let's talk about Formula One for a second. For a while, people didn't want it. It is bigger than is it bigger than a Super Bowl? It's like at that level.
What I would say is in terms of a global audience, consistently, it might be. We stole this race away, if you will, from Austin, Texas. This weekend, they're in Mexico City. I mean, they go to the best places on the planet. The drivers have followings like NASCAR does. But you and I aren't as familiar with it. But by the time this is over, I think we will be. It's a lot of young guys who are, they're media stars, media darlings.
It is exciting. It's going to change our, we have all the sports, even though hockey is really not in Miami. It is. We have all the major sports. Formula One. When the team was Steve Ross was trying to get Formula One here, the people in Austin, Texas people don't realize we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on Facebook, bad-mouthing it, so they wouldn't leave Austin. People didn't know that. They had a campaign going undercover through Facebook and Instagram. So it's great.
And yet, what do you think was the decisive factor for it, coming to Miami?
I don't know.
It's a lot of work that they did to try to save it and keep it.
And this guy, Steve Ross.
Mr. Ross, yeah.
Mr. Ross. Sorry, Mr. Ross. He kept the Miami Open, brought Formula One here, fixed the stadium, brought a Super Bowl.
Yeah, an Orange Bowl championship / college football playoff championship.
Right. I mean, he's pretty brilliant. I understand through the grapevine, he wants to bring a big tournament of golf here. He wants a big.
We used to have two of those. We used to have the Southern Swing. So you had the Honda Classic.
That was
and you
played
had
at Doral, right?
No, Doral, you had the Ryder.
You don't have anything now.
No, it's gone. We used to have the WCG Championships, World Golf Championship, WGC.
Yeah, so I understand that he's trying to do that, trying to get a golf thing down here.
Well, he's been very successful in everything he's done. I think, we were going through the same issue with the Miami Open, was going to leave and go to Orlando.
And he snagged them.
And he saved it. He said it doesn't need to leave Miami just because it's leaving Key Biscayne. So pretty big deal that he and Tom Garfinkel have been able to
Tom
really
Garfield, last I know, lives in this area.
Oh, does he?
Well, his kid played in the rec league down south.
Okay. Well, Tom's a great guy. And
I don't know him, but
is, very much a consigliere to Mr. Ross. And, they're doing great things. I am beyond thrilled that the Miami Open stayed here because I've been a huge fan of it before I moved here. We would come down and go to the old Lipton, because it typically, happened during spring break. And, It was really awesome. So we've not only kept that, we've elevated that. It's always consistently, rated high on the players' favorite places to play. Who wouldn't want to be in Miami in late March?
All right, you got so many things going. You got the impact, you got Small Business Month, you
Yeah,
got Regalado talking about education.
yeah.
You got
Commissioner Regalado.
you have really a great agenda going on for November.
I will tell you this, and it really was just a function of the stars aligning, but with much of our staff focused on what we're doing for the annual conference, it meant that that I needed to roll up my sleeves and help out a little bit. So I helped put together our panel for our Women's Business Network event, and then reached out to Raquel Regalado to headline our breakfast in November. And we're going to have that lineup of 10 great speakers. It's 10 different topics and speakers joining us on Friday. I mean, that is a lot of work to put together.
Are you sold out? No.
We are technically now, because registration had to close yesterday, but we've got probably about 100 delegates. We had room for about 120. So lunch will be 160, 170. The dinner
open?
will be no, they're sold
Wait,
because
you have dinner
the dinner is on the Monday night.
on Monday night? Yes.
That's oversold.
So, my suggest still get on the waiting list.
Okay. Well, I will tell you two things that we have available for you. On Monday at the gym dinner, you can buy a reception ticket, be part of the networking reception,
and not go in.
And then
that's the bargain.
Friday, if you're interested, we have the afternoon sessions because there's no food or drink. So if you're interested in hearing from David Whitaker, if you're in the hospitality industry, we've got some seats available.
I have to correct you on it. It's not just the hospitality. Everybody is affected.
I agree.
Not just restaurants and tourism. We're all affected. People, like down when the Keys, people still have to stop and use our gas station.
They do.
They have to use our restaurants. But tourism has struggled the last 2 years, right?
It's been a very difficult 2 years. And I was at the annual meeting last week, and I was telling David Whitaker yesterday when we were talking about his presentation, I said, two things were really very moving for me. I think one, being in a room like that, gathering with colleagues and industry leaders in such an essential part of our business landscape. And two, it was in a facility that basically opened during COVID up at the Marriott at Turnberry. And I had never been to that beautiful facility.
Beautiful.
But the manager got up and brought greetings from his ownership team. And then every single person that was working at that moment, housekeeper, line chefs, whomever, they all walked into the ballroom and put a ring around the room. And it was almost like some type of symbolic embrace, like, you took care of us and now we welcome you back.
Wow.
Tears in my eyes. And I told David, I said, I'm like an old bird, I think I've seen everything. I'm a little jaded probably, but I see that and I just feel my heart melt.
Okay.
Really special.
Who's emceeing? Pam is emceeing?
Pam Giganti is going to MC the luncheon on Friday, which is our Equitable Advisors Businesswoman of the Year lunch. We're honoring 10 women. Really excited about that.
This is at the Goals Conference.
This is. We couldn't host it last March.
Who are the 10 women? Can you say?
I cannot because it's a secret.
Oh,
there
it
are
is. 27
finalists.
Wow.
And Kim Eng, who's being honored.
Wow. And then we're going to wrap it up. The gem, Ron Sheffield, and who else is being recognized?
So Ron Sheffield is our Georgie Merrick Award of Excellence winner. We did a little different this year versus announcing a number of distinguished honorees. We just announced the winner. And then 3 younger professionals, Adrian Nunez from Vanessa Liebel from Choice MD, and then we're going to honor Mary Snow from our Coral Gables Community Foundation.
Wow. Okay. November. We got to sell some trustees. How many do we need to sell?
We do, because we were way behind in September. Now again in October, we need 7.
I want to, when you came in, I was interviewing somebody who was a former trustee, took off a year. Yeah. And what did he tell you and what did he do?
He said, Mark, I don't have the resources right now. His name's Eddie Cora. He's from the fair. And he said, but I'll do like a nonprofit member. But in a year, when things are better, I'll rejoin. And I said, whatever you need, We'll take care of you. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did. So I just saw him and I said, I know I dropped you a note, but let me say to you in person two things. Thank you. And also thank you for being a person of your word. Our word is our bond. Our word is our bond. And
All we have is a handshake.
I think sometimes we lose sight of that because it becomes very easy to, say what people think that you want to hear. And it's really important that we be as authentic as possible. So,
I
Eddie, thank you.
I love that
Thank you.
story.
By the way, you mentioned Al Dotson before, did the same thing. I reached out and said, we've had a hard time making a connection on your renewal. He said, I'm taking care of it right now. And, I like my staff to be empowered and work their relationships. But sometimes it takes me picking up the phone and calling a great guy like Eddie or a great guy like Al. And you know what they always do? They step up.
And that
Very blessed.
and this is the time to step with Core Gables Chamber. Before we wrap it up, because time is almost over. You belong to a chamber. Get involved.
Yes.
Just don't join and don't do anything for a year. Go to it. If you belong to Core Gables Chamber and you don't know you want to meet somebody, I'm standing at the door like I'm the maitre d'. I will take you to that person, introduce them, because Core Gables Chamber is working hard for you, the people of Core Gables and greater Core Gables. It's not just Core Gables. You have members from all over.
Yeah, about a third of our membership is outside the Coral Gables footprint and zip codes. But you said it right. I think we're at a point now where we've given what we can in terms of flexibility, and we now need folks to step forward and support us, whether it's our chamber or another. Chambers have been essential all throughout the pandemic, whether we've been good stewards of your resources, pivoting like no time ever in our history, or finding ways to bring you advocacy and resources. That is our new normal. I'm not sure it'll ever come back to being what it was before. And I think we're better for it. I think we're stronger for it. And I think we're serving you at the highest level because of it.
Before we close up, the event that was on the new building, the plaza.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful building. And that was, to me, one of the most great events that you held.
So I appreciate that. And that was a partnership between us, the county, Mayor Levine Cava, Chairman Pepe Diaz, and World Trade Center, Miami International Trade Consortium. I mean, a nice group. We haven't always been invited to that table. So it was nice to be asked. It was nice to step up. We got business for 3 of our members out of that work. And most importantly, it was just one of those moments where it was a good reminder of the international nature, not only of our business community, but South Florida's business community.
So I'm there. I'm talking to some guy from Ireland. He's not an ambassador, but he's a consulate. What do they call him?
Consul General.
Yeah, consul general. And I don't know who he is. He's just a regular guy. We're chit chatting about kids, about this, about that. That's why you got to go to those things. You got to go meet new people.
Yeah, I mean, we're all about expanding your network, but you have to do the heavy lifting with us. You have to be willing to go and kind of sight unseen, introduce yourself, give your vital statistics, and promise to follow up. So please do that. And in this community where international business is so important, and I'm going to ask David Whitaker on Friday, what is it going to take to get the international traveler back? Vaccination. Florida rolls out the red carpet most of the time. But that doesn't mean that the United States does that when it comes to the international traveler, because that's regulated at a different level. So my hope is that as we continue to see positivity rates under 2% and the number of cases decreasing week over week, that folks will continue to venture out, go to events, put their arms around each other, even if it's in a virtual space or a figurative space, and get back to what they do best, and that is build their business one step at a time, one client at a time, one ask at a time.
Well, I'm all set. I can't wait to Friday, then Monday. Oh, excuse me, Wednesday, Friday, Monday. Am I right?
Monday, and
Day.
then it's Veterans Day, and then I'm off to see
Veterans Day is
November 11th, 11/11.
And before we wrap it up, you're emceeing your former colleague next Tuesday.
Yep, Nikki Freed, our agriculture commissioner, will be in speaking at your event, our event at Miami's Community Newspapers down in Evelyn Greer Park.
It's community newspapers, but you MC it, so you take total control of everything.
I don't think that's ever happened. But let me tell you, I thought you acquitted yourself beautifully by having Mayor Suarez come and speak last week. He was very engaging. I think what's nice about working with younger elected officials is that they have a lot of energy and a lot of dynamism. I know I can say that about our mayor, Mayor Lago. Working with him is, just a joy every single day. He's got lots of ideas percolating up there in that head of his. But it's helpful when you have partners like the city, the chamber, the bid, who can help you execute on that. We've done that cleanup together. He was with me at Trader Joe's opening on Friday morning. I was with him later in the day at the Crystal Academy trick or treating. There's always a method to that madness, and it isn't just I could work another 5 hours. I'm talking to young people who are the future of our workforce, even those with some significant mental disabilities and challenges. We have to find ways to get them into the workforce so
Oh,
that they are
absolutely.
producing.
All right, let's close this out today, Aaron. I mean, what's your name, Andres?
Andres.
Any music for us?
So don't forget, it's National Ohio Day. What's round on the end and high in the middle?